back to continue with my questions that I left last time. I'm sure you watched my previous video on how we were solving this question. Our main interest on my previous video was introduction of graph of polynomial and had an attempt to answer a question which says calculate the value of r when you are given this statistical information on the chart like this. And we left it on the question 2 using your scale of 2 cm to represent 1 unit on the x-axis and 2 cm to represent 10 units on the y-axis. Draw the graph of the equation, this equation. Hopefully you had an attempt on how to draw this. Now I'm here to correct your work and make sure that you get it correct this time. Last time we found our r to be 0. Just a quick recap. I'll do my quick recap here on how I should find my r. So find the value. Find the value of r. This is a quick recap. So we are simply saying that the value of r is simply found by getting the equation of the curve, which is y is equal to x squared minus 4. Whereby we know the very fact that my x is equal to -2 and my y is equal to r. Then they want you to find r. So how do I find r? I use the same equation here. Where there is x, I replace with -2. Then I find what y is. Then y is my r. So it's going to be x is -2 multiplied by -2. But this is squared minus 4. Then I simplify it to be -2. -2 squared is same as +4, which is -4. So it will be -2 multiplied by 0, which will be 0. This will be the value for r. So my value for r here, we know it's not r, but it's 0, like that, correct? Therefore now, we need to know how to sketch the graph. Once you sketch the graph, I've added another question now, which is simply saying, using your graph to solve the equations, use your graph. Which graph? This graph you have drawn here, which you have sketched. To solve the equations, x open bracket x squared minus x minus 4 is equal to 0, and x open bracket x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. So these are the equations that we are going to solve using the graph that you have drawn here. So first, let's draw the graph together. So we are going to draw the graph on the next board here. So we know our scale. The best we can do is to write the scale here so that you don't forget. We know that the scale, it is -3 on the x-axis. The scale is -3 of x less of 3. This is my x-axis. Okay, this is my x-axis, and my y-axis, the range which I'm told it is -20 is less or equal to y, less or equal to 20. And I'm told that on the y-axis I should use 2 cm to represent 1 unit. Okay, so on my x-axis I'm told 2 cm, okay, to represent 1 unit. Okay, on my y-axis I'm told that I should use, on my y-axis I'm told 2 cm to represent 10 units. So these are the scales, these are most important information. So this data you should have it with you if you are going to draw an accurate graph. So now let's draw our graph here. Okay, so my graph will be simply, you use a nice rule, 10 cm rule to draw this graph. Don't just draw it any which way you feel like. Use your ruler, but for me now I'm just going to use it because I'm doing it for you to learn, just to learn it and be able to do it nicely on your own. So you draw the graph like this. So my line is bending. Okay, let me see. My line is not straight, but for you, make sure that your line is straight and accurate. Okay, because you're using a ruler, nice ruler. So like that. Okay, somehow correct. So this is my y-axis. So you label it y, and this is is my x-axis. If you want, you can even say the whole line of x-axis, we know that y here is equal to 0. And the whole line of y-axis, we know x is equal to 0. We do it like this in advance for you to just be accurate. So we name it now. So we are saying that 2 centimeters represent 1 unit. So if you have your graph is going to be so nice and decorated in the sense that you are going to have your graph, it is going to be in this format. Let me just make a nice graph for you so that you see what is happening here. So if you have a graph paper, everything becomes simple. Nothing is difficult when you have your graph paper. But if you don't have a graph paper, you cannot answer this question accurately because everything will be a mess. Everything will be a mess. So make sure you have a graph paper. So you may be wondering, what is he trying to do? I'm trying to create a graph paper for you so that you can see what is happening. So this is your graph paper. So like I advise my student, you have to get the whole graph part so that you practice on it daily. When you practice on it daily, you are going to be a very brilliant student. Remember, there is no medicine for maths apart from practicing. If you don't practice, you'll never be good in maths. So you need to practice. Okay, so this is my graph that I'm designing for you. Okay. That is my graph. That is my graph. That is my graph. And I have it also down here. That's my graph. Okay. That is my graph. That is my graph. Okay. Down there. Brilliant. So this graph looks like it's the original graph. Okay, good. So I know this is my x-axis line which I have drawn on my graph, and this is my x-axis. The other part is my y line. Okay, this is my x. Okay. So what do we mean by 2 centimeters? Your graph paper is divided in 2 centimeters. Each square, from here to there, this square it is 2 centimeters. From here to there, this square is divided. These are 2 centimeters squares. Both, even this side is 2 centimeters square. So 1 centimeter, it is just in the middle here. This is where my 1 centimeter is. But when we reach to this line, this is 2 centimeters. So it is very advisable that you use your graph paper, which is divided into 2 centimeters, and you get your answers correctly. So they're saying use 2 centimeters on the x-axis to represent 1 unit. So 2 centimeters means that from here to there it is 2 centimeters. Hence it's supposed to be 1 unit. So I write 1 here. Then again from here to there it is another 2 units. So I write here 2. From here to there is 2 centimeters. So I write there 3. So my graph is 1, 2, 3 there, which of course they told me I should reach for 3. And on the negative side again I go 1 there, -1, -2, -3 there. This is my graph. I've shown now this scale on this part. Again I go to my y-axis, which they are saying that 2 centimeters represent 10 units. So it means that 2 centimeters represent 10 units. So it will be 10 here and 20 there. So we have 10 here and 20 there. So this is my negative, the positive side. So this is I've represented this scale here. Very simple. Then now, all you need to do is to draw the graph by using the coordinates. These coordinates which are here are the ones that we're going to use. You see, this coordinates is -1, -3, -15, -2, 0, -3, -1, 3, 0, 0, this and that until the end. So that is what we're going to do. So we'll start with -3, which is my x-axis, -15, -15. So, -15, it will be, so this is my -3 here. When we go down, negative 15, it will be, this is 10 here. But the middle part here, it will be negative 15, if you can notice. So we come down here, we draw my sketch where these two lines touching. So this is roughly drawn, okay? They are meeting here. You can see negative 3 line and 15, they are meeting here. So I put a dot there. You put a nice dot like that. Therefore, again, you come and say it is negative 2,0. Negative 2,0 is here. My y is 0 and my x is negative 2. So I put my dot there. A nice dot, I put it there. And I have about 2 dots now. Good. Then I have negative 1, 3. Negative 1 is here, 3 approximately, in this is positive 3, my y is positive 3, so approximately positive 3 will be somewhere there. So it will be negative 1 approximately 3. I put a dot there. Okay. Then the next stage it will be 0, 0. 0, this is where my dot will be. This is 0, 0 there. After I do that, I come to 1, negative 3, positive 1, negative 3 again, it will be somewhere there. So, positive 1, negative 3, I put my dot there, somewhere there to be negative 3. Then I have 2, 0, okay, I have 2, 0, which is just here, okay, and the last part I have 3, 15. 3 is here, 15 is in the middle here. So I put the dot there as my 15. 10, 15, somewhere there. Okay. So my 15 will be somewhere here. Okay. That is my 15. So I have my dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots. So once you make the dots, you even see the graph that is being formulated. So the only thing you need to do is to join the dots now. So you join them nicely. Don't make any corner. Make sure that your graph is very accurately drawn. Okay, so you join this nicely like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay, hence that is our graph. You see the way it is looking? That is how it's supposed to look on your graph paper. Therefore, now you even name this line and say, this is my y is equal to x squared minus 4 graph. Once you draw it like this, therefore now you'll be able to solve the equations given here using the graph here, which will be simple and straightforward. So, let's see how we can solve the equations now. Okay, so let's see how we can solve these equations using the graph which we have drawn down there. So make sure that you draw this graph using your graph paper, graph pad, and you're going to get an accurate answer. It will look more better than mine. Okay? And we shall see the importance of graph of polynomial. So now let's solve these equations using the graph. Okay, so these equations can only be solved if you know the original equation. So the original, we say, original what? Equation. Okay, original equation. Excuse me, of a graph is, okay, we are told that it is y is equal to x, open bracket, x squared minus 4. That is the original equation. Hence, how do I solve my first equation there? I get the original equation and also this equation given. I then now I do the next part, which is, of course, I'm going to say x, okay, I get the original equation, which is y is equal to x squared minus 4. Then I get this equation, which is here, my a, I put it here. Also it will be, so you see there's 0 there, I can write 0 is equal to x, open brackets, x squared minus 4. What is there and what is here? You cancel it, and what is remaining, it is the value that they are talking about. So look here, this x and this x cancels, this x squared and this x cancels, and this 4 and this 4 cancels. Hence we are saying that my y is equal to 0. So my y is equal to 0. So when y is equal to 0, what will be my x? We don't know. So we need to know what my x is. So you just come on the graph here. This is a graph. Which line is y is equal to 0? Good enough, we have already named this line y is equal to 0. So the entire y-x axis is equal to y is equal to 0. So to find the values for x, you just come to this line, you draw y is equal to 0, which is this line. Where it is cutting the curve, those are your answers. So it is cutting the curve here, okay, we have seen where it is cutting the curve. When you go again, it is cutting the curve here. Again, proceed, it is also cutting the curve here. So meaning that we have three values for x. We have this value, and this value. So we are going to say my x is equal to, we are told is 2, 0, and negative 2. We have 2, we can say 2, and 0, and negative 2 as my final answer. So I found the line which is y is equal to 0 is cutting the x-axis, is cutting the curve, the equation, this equation on 3 points, which is 2, 0, and negative 2. And that will be your final answer. So this is how you can solve it in a simpler way. Okay, so the next part is, how do I now solve this equation? So the process is one and the same. There's no difference. Okay, the process is one and the same. So let's see how we can solve it again. Okay, so this one, hopefully you have copied this. Now let's do the second part. So the second part is my b. So you do the same procedure, get the original equation, y is equal to x squared minus 4. And then I'll get this one, you see negative 2 is there. So you can just say 2 is equal to x squared, okay, x squared minus 4. So this part here, it goes because it's one and the same. Hence my y is equal to 2. My y is equal to 2. So I need to find what x is. What is my x? I don't know. So I go on my y-axis. This is my y-axis here. Okay, this is my y-axis. And then I look at the graph where is y is equal to 2. Where is y is equal to 2? Y is equal to 2. This is my 0 here. So my 1 will probably be somewhere here and my 2 will probably be here. This will be my 2. Then I draw a straight line, okay, which is passing at y is equal to 2. I draw this straight line nicely like that. So I even tell the examiner that this line is y is equal to 2. Like that. So this line is y is equal to 2. Henceforth, this same line we have drawn is also cutting the curve. It is cutting the curve here, it's also cutting the curve there, and it's also cutting the curve here. So it is cutting the curve on 3 points. So if it's cutting the curve on 3 points, it means that the values of x will be 3 of them. So what will be the value for x here? Will come down here. This is probably 2.5 somewhere approximately. What about this part here? This will be approximately here. It will be 0.5. Again here approximately. Okay. It will be negative 1.6. Okay. So I write my answers here. X therefore is equal to, I get this point which is here, which is 2.5, and the next dot is here, which is negative 0.5, approximately just negative 0.5, and again I'm told it is also cutting here, which is negative 1.5. Okay, so we say negative 1.5. So these are my final values for x. So I have 2.5, negative 0.5, negative 1.5. This is where this line y is equal to 2 is cutting. And this is how you solve this equation, this kind of equations, using the graph which we have drawn. So you cannot find these equations if you have not drawn this graph. So the first thing is to find the value for r, like we did, find the value for r. When you find the value for r, then now you can draw the graph using the scale given. Once you draw the graph, therefore now you can find the equations. Once you're able to find the equations, the next thing is find the gradient. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about the gradient now. Okay, we are going to talk about finding the gradient using now, okay, the tangent, using the tangents. Okay, using the tangent. This is what we'll be focusing on my next video. So please don't miss my next video. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe so that you can get notification every time I post new videos, and you may have access as soon as possible. Thank you for today. Hope you have understood. If anything, comment on my YouTube channel and let me know what you need more. I'll be able to help you in those areas. Bye bye.